just not in the business of raising no man. I already have a son, okay? I gotta raise him. I don't want to raise nobody else's son. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Asia. If you're new here, today's video, as you can see per the title, is going to be a sit down girl chat type of video. Just hang out, just discuss some things that have been on this crazy little brain of mine. If you guys want to just hang out with me for a little bit, just keep on watching. You guys know usually I like to do these videos with like a glass of wine, some honey, something a little adult and spicy. But it's 10 o'clock in the morning today, so my water is gonna have to do. I didn't eat breakfast and nothing. I'm just down here starving. I'm just clocked in. I'm just working. But anything for you guys. So without further ado, let's just get right into the video. All right, it feels so good to be in front of the camera, like a sit down video. I haven't done it in so long. You guys know I was doing real good on, what was that? Not my April consistency. Was it my March consistency? I was at it. And then April came, it was my birthday, Harper's birthday, if you're new here, that's my daughter. And then like I was in Miami and I was in California and it just was like a lot. And then I ended up going into like a depression, to say the least, the D word. And I had to take some time off. Like I was like basically forcing myself to produce content at that point. I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't motivated. I wasn't inspired. I just was in like the worst funk in a long time. But I'm feeling back to myself a little bit and I'm trying to like push myself out of it. So I'm excited to be sitting here hanging out with you guys. As always, you guys know I love me a little sit down girl chat. As I said in the beginning, you know, usually I have me a little cocktail, a little beverage or something, but y'all, it's so early in the morning. I don't even film at this time of the day. I think in my whole entire career, this is the first time I've ever filmed this early, but it's turnaround. 10-hour turnaround, okay? So yeah, I'm starving. If you hear my stomach grumble at any freaking point, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was not me. Before we do get into the chit chat though, my necklace is from En Route. This one is from Etsy. It says my kids' names on these little plates right here. So super cute. I'll link it down below like I always do. This one is by En Route, like I said. It's by Miss Colleen from YouTube as well. I've been watching her for years. Her aesthetic, chef's kiss, her style, everything. Love all of it. So I had to give me one of these. I'm thinking about getting like 2 more so I could stack them, you know? And then my bracelets are from Karen Narita by Miss Elia J. Not me supporting all the YouTubers. Look at me. I didn't do that on purpose. And my tank top is from Local European. I love this damn tank top. I literally wear it all the time. Oh, and my rings. This is an Aura ring. This is from PLT, I believe. This is from Amazon. It says fuck off. I need to get a new one. Mine is not gold anymore. And then Cartier. But yeah, just in case anybody was trying to tussle me in the comments, because y'all be right at me. Like, I'm going to get to it. I might not say it, but I'm going to tag it. But y'all be trying to tussle with your girl and like, yeah, don't do that. But okay, anyways, so let me see. I have my trusty dusty old notepad open on the computer. What do we want to talk about? Oh my gosh. So the first thing that was like crossing my mind recently, and this is one of those things that like really lingers on my mind when I'm going through like a funky period in my life, is not growing on social media. So if you don't watch the vlogs, or if you're new here, when I was basically discussing on a vlog like how I was feeling down, because I'm very transparent on my channel. I do discuss like when I'm not feeling my best, because I am one of those content creators where I'm not afraid to let people into my life. Like I think that it's just who I am as a person. Like I like to be more personable, if that makes sense. And I definitely think at some point in my little funk that I was going through, and still I'm kind of going through, was that I just was feeling like I wasn't growing. Like all of my hard work was just going like unnoticed, so to say. Like imposter syndrome, not knowing like really what I wanted to do next. Even when I like produce multiple videos a month and I'm doing like 2 videos a week, sometimes even 3, I don't ever see the results. And then it's like sometimes I'm posting all the time on Instagram and I'm losing followers instead of gaining followers. It kind of takes a toll on me, especially because like this is my career and I'm just like, what am I doing wrong that I'm not necessarily growing? And it's like before I used to just be like, okay, like Instagram is not really like a thing anymore. That's why like I'm not growing there. But then like I'm seeing other people meet these amazing milestones, and like while I'm so happy for them, I'm just like, but what about me? You know? And it's just like I don't see why it's not happening for me. So it does hit me a little bit different because this is my job, that I'm just like, I want to produce the content that I enjoy making, obviously, such as vlogs and these sit down videos where it's just you guys get to hang out with me, makeup videos, even though that's not my thing, but like I don't think that the standard person is like a makeup artist. Like I think it's fun for us to learn and experiment together. Fashion videos, I don't know what to do. And if you guys have any recommendations of like things you would like to see me do, please let me know. I'm always open, one, to criticism, but two, to ideas, because I'm just one person. I do all of this by myself, and like I'm not someone to be like, yeah, don't try to help me with my job, you know. But yeah, I definitely think I have been like struggling with the idea that like I'm not growing on social media, but I always so appreciative of like when like my content creator friends, like they repost me and they mention me like in their videos, because one, that's just the easiest way to show love to someone, but also like it does get my name to maybe audiences that I cannot reach on my own, whether it be the For You page and like the recommended page. So I'm always so appreciative of that. Like literally anytime Aaliyah like even tags me in something on her Instagram, I got like freaking 500 followers. It's like literally insane. Like it's like I'm gonna just call it like the Aaliyah effect at this point, okay? But yeah, so definitely I feel like that's kind of been a big thing for me recently, is like not growing on social media. And I think it's something that we all go through at the end of the day. Like you put in all this hard work, right? And it's just like either you're getting 10K, 20K, 30K, or you're not getting nothing. And I know a part of the problem is to like, don't even say it in the comments, is that I'm not on TikTok. I know. The reason I say don't mention that I'm not on TikTok is because I love TikTok. I'm a consumer of TikTok. I sit on TikTok too much sometimes, to the point I'm like, girl, you ain't get nothing done today. Like you just been sitting here scrolling. Like I closed TikTok to reopen TikTok. Like I don't really get on Instagram like that anymore. And I don't really like vibe with reels and stuff. But I don't have excuses, okay? Like I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, this, that, and the third. Like I'm not. But I do definitely, my hair is so clean that it looks a mess. I do definitely find that as a single mom with 2 kids, one of them being 2 years old, I do battle with making time for it. Like sometimes I do film TikToks and I just never get around to editing it, or I start filming a TikTok and I never finish out that TikTok, if that makes sense. And like when I watch people's TikToks, there's no shade to them, but like when I watch people's TikToks and it's like they obviously started like a daily vlog, but like the end seems like abrupt or rushed, I'm like, what was the point? But it's also because I'm so used to creating long form content that it's like an art to me. It's like a baby, you know. Like I'm not as creative as I used to be, because sometimes I'm just trying to get the content out for y'all. But like when I really do sit down and take the time to edit and produce content, I take it so seriously that I also want to pour that same excitement into TikTok, if that makes sense. It's hard though, considering I'm juggling long form content where these vlogs is over an hour. Like I'm over here producing movies, okay? Movies, and then life, and then that. Like I need to figure out that balance, and I just haven't figured it out yet. But I definitely do plan to branch into it. Recently I actually have been filming like a little TikTok today, so yeah. But I'm fully aware, it's a lot. Oh my gosh. But speaking of TikTok though, I'm like sitting here and I just was thinking about this the other day when I was on TikTok. Could you guys date somebody like a man that full-blown dances on TikTok? Like what is that a thing for you guys? Because like I don't mind a man that dance with like swag, so to say, but the men that like dance on TikTok and they're like in it, like animated, tongue all out, going like this, I'm just like I can't help it though. I don't know why. We always talk about how I get the ick over the craziest things, which is why I am still single, because it's like either impress me all the way from the get-go or else I'm gonna find everything wrong. I know I'm my own worst enemy at this point. But the dancing men with like the gyrating of the hips and the smiling and the tongue out, I'm like, is this sexy to some people? Because it's not sexy to me, like at all. But when it's like a guy that like could dance and it's like those real like cool, effortless, smooth, I'm like, oh, that's really cool that he could dance, you know. Like it really depends on what you're doing, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I have definitely seen TikToks and I'd be like, yeah, no, absolutely not. Also something that like literally, I don't know what made me think about this, is spinning the block. Spinning the goddamn block. Do y'all spin the block? Tell the truth. This is a safe space. Do y'all spin the block from time to time? I'm gonna let y'all think about it, because don't try to lie to me. This is a safe space, I'm trying to tell y'all. I guess that too goes like hand in hand with like fumbling the bag. And the reason I say like fumbling the bag is because I had a couple DMs recently. You guys know, people just will not let go of like who I've dated in the past, and to other people, to them, they're always like, oh, you fumbled the bag. Like they DM me and say that, and I'm just like, did I really though? Like, you don't know what I was dealing with. You don't know what I was going through. You don't know that man behind closed doors like I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, for somebody to say that I fumbled the bag, it like blows mine in a sense, because I'm just like, I don't think I fumbled the bag. Like, I don't necessarily think that, but you know, like, whatever. But the reason I say it goes hand in hand with like fumbling the bag is because, like, have you ever been in that situation where like you felt like you fumbled the bag? Like, what did you do after that? Like, did you like try to get the person back? Did you just take it on the chin? Did you hope that they would come back to you? Because like, and here's the thing, fumbling the bag isn't always about dating a man with money and thinking like you fumbled a lifestyle, right? And here's the thing, I think people are so small-minded in this day and age. Like, to them, that is what it is. Like, oh, she fumbled back. Like, oh, she was dating this rich man that was doing X, Y, and Z for her, could have did this, could have did that, could have exposed her to everything else, and she stopped dating him or whatever. You know, to each his own. We all have our different ideas of what fumbling the bag is. People say that to me, that I fumbled said bag. They are referring to materialistic things, because again, they don't know this man. But the reason I kind of live by this mindset that I in fact did not fumble the bag is because if I did it once, I could do it twice, and if I did it twice, I could do it more than that. You know what I'm saying? And I say that in the most polite way possible. Like, wasn't the first, won't be the last. Like, and it's more so like, when people think like, oh, like she was dating this man that has so much money, he was a successful person and he was this famous person, I'm like, okay. And you know what I learned from that relationship? Don't go public with him. Don't do it. Did I ever tell y'all the story about how I was dating the guy, a girl that followed me? And this child, since then, you won't see me leave no heart eyes under nobody's pictures unless I know them, or know of them, or know who their partner is, okay? I don't play these games no more. But anyways, me and this girl followed each other, and she used to always comment on my pictures. I used to comment on hers. We had like mutual friends or whatever. She seemed like this really sweet person. Lo and behold, this girl was one of those girls that if she saw what a man was doing for somebody else, she just had to take her chance, right? It was very obvious what he was doing for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you knew, you knew, but it was obvious. And next thing I know, she posted a picture in his goddamn condo lobby. She unfollowed me. I never said nothing to her ever again. And the funniest thing about it though for me is though that when she decided to try to get him, like to take him from me, I guess, or I don't know, get what I was getting. And here's the thing, what I think people need to remember, we can have the same man, but we're not gonna have that man the same way, okay? You know, you would think, and I guess, you know what's crazy, like, I guess when you're like a girl's girl and you're just kind of at that age, it's like seeing people be in love and happy and getting treated so nicely, you're like, oh my gosh, freaking kudos to you, like you deserve it. Like, I think that every female should experience it. No, there's really females that is really looking for your man, okay, and they want your man. Yeah, ever since then, you won't see me posting my man at all. Yeah, I think that like the idea of fumbling the bag is just so like dumb. Like, it's like, grow the freak up. Like, fumbling the bag, why? Because somebody dealt with someone with money and then they didn't. But like, to me, like, when I think about fumbling the bag these days as a 28-year-old woman with 2 kids, I think about fumbling the bag in the sense of like dating a man that was attentive, that listened to me, that really just helped me grow as a person, that just wanted to see me happy. Like, if I date somebody like that and then like we stop, I'm like, damn, am I gonna get that again? You know, like, I do think I fumble the bag in that sense sometimes. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things, right? It just shows like growth. Like, what is fumbling the bag to you? Y'all ever been blocked by a man? How do you feel about it when a man blocks you? Because I've been blocked before and I was like, you sassy. And not only is you sassy, why are you feeling so hurt? Because I don't even post on Instagram. And then one day I saw the person that blocked me on my Explore page and I was like, did this man unblock me 3 years later? What does that mean? What does it mean if somebody that blocked you unblocked you years later? Asking for myself. asking for myself, you know, like I was like, that's a little wonky, that's a little crazy, but who am I? People always ask me about like being a single mom, like dating. I feel like I talk about it all the time, like that I'm not always going to discuss in all these videos because like it is what it is. But yeah, I'm a single mom. I have 2 kids by 2 different people. You know what's funny though? Co-parenting for me has been going really well, surprisingly enough. I've come a long way as a co-parent, and when I was younger I was still a good co-parent in a sense, but I also was very like not reactive, but I just had a short fuse. Like I just did not care, and I'm one of those people that's just like, if you don't do it, like I'm not asking you twice, I'll do that myself, you know what I'm saying? I'm always like that, and now I'm just like, no, like you do it, I don't want to do it no more. Like I've always done it, I've done it all the time, I'm tired. So co-parenting for me has been going great. I don't really have much advice on it though, because I treat people how they treat me, you know? Like I'm not begging nobody to be in nobody's lives. I'm not telling you and asking you a million times to do something. Like you either make it easy on me and I make it easy on you, or we gonna make it hard on each other. So I don't have advice in co-parenting. You gotta handle them accordingly, okay? And see, a lot of you ask like, how do I balance being a mom and working? Easy answer is I don't know how to balance it. I struggle. Sometimes I'm up so late because that's the only time I can do things. Other times it's just like I'm losing my mind, okay? I don't have answers for those types of things to you. I don't know how this turned into a Q&A. I guess we're just discussing, right? Someone said how to leave a man who treats you like shit when you have his child. You already got to deal with the man for the rest of your life, okay? You're going to have to see that man for every birthday, graduations, whatever other holidays you got to celebrate with your significant. Leave that man. You still gonna have to like know him at some point. Why you want to be with if he don't treat you good? Okay, and that's the thing. I feel like it's easier said than done, right? A lot of women stay with men like, oh, we have a kid, and they're so like stuck on this idea of a family. I get that, but like if I'm not happy, if I'm not fulfilled, boy, please, we're gonna co-parent and we're gonna call it a day. Okay, somebody said, what's my thoughts on going 50-50? Yeah, I don't do it. A lot of people think just because we're single is something wrong with us. I think that's a really good one, because people are always like, oh, like, well, why are you single? And like, there's no reason you should. Oh, I don't know, maybe because I don't settle. Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe because I'm looking for something very particular that like I feel like I cannot find right now. Like, I'm not single because a man looked at me like, I don't want her. Like, that ain't the case, okay? I could have been had a boyfriend by now. I might have had a couple boyfriends if that was the case. I personally think that I'm single right now just because I'm not interested in settling, and anytime I get the indication that like I don't feel fulfilled or I don't feel heard, I'm just like, yeah, I'm out of here. Because I have done those relationships where I begged and pleaded for somebody to treat me a certain way, do certain things for me, be there a certain way, like, and I'm just not in the business of raising no man. I already have a son, okay? I gotta raise him. I don't want to raise nobody else's son. And I'm kind of at the point in my life at 28, and mind you, I've been 28 for like a month. Matter of fact, I've been 28 for 30 days. But at 28, I definitely feel like, yeah, no, like, I don't want to have 85 conversations with you of how like you don't plan no dates and you do this and you do it. Like, it just does not interest me. It just does not fulfill me as a woman. I've been there as a kid. I've done that. I will completely freaking pass. And definitely when I meet men and they do approach me, because it's very funny. Men are very afraid to approach me, which I think is the funniest thing ever, because I'm just like, do I have to get like a sign on my forehead that says like I'm single? Should I put it in my Instagram bio? Like, I always say these things. And what happens is when men do approach me, very rare. Like, sometimes I go out looking my best, okay? Like, I'm talking like, sometimes I go out, not a man will ever say hello to me, buy me a drink, nothing. And I mean, maybe I'm just not a bad bitch like I thought I was, but from what I've been told when I do ask men what the case is, a lot of people tell me that men do not approach me or try to talk to me, whether it be on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, X, whatever the case is, in person, is because I appear as a kept woman. But I was like, jokes on y'all, because I keep my goddamn self. So yeah, I don't know how to turn off the I'm a kept woman vibe, because I don't know how to look like I'm single. Like, what do you say? What do you do? What does it give? And like, I'm a very friendly person. I'm always chit-chatting when I'm out. But men very rarely try to talk to me in person. But when people do talk to me and they're like, oh, like, you know, are you single? And I go, oh, like, yeah. Well, why are you single? You're so beautiful. You seem like you're so intelligent. You're funny. And I'm like, because I got standards. This is the last one we're going to talk about. All the pressure we put on ourselves to have it all. Nice hair, good skin, nice house, great body. I think that's a really good one because I definitely feel like that. You know, like, let me even backtrack a little bit. Me moving, the house that I'm moving into, it's a cute home. It's a cute home. It's a smaller home than what I'm used to. And I really had to sit back and be realistic with myself at one point in my life, that like, even though it wasn't the next step that I had envisioned for myself, that it's okay that my plans got a little detour in it, right? Because like, God's plan is bigger than my plan. I see all these TikToks of people saying like they're moving out of like their high-rise condos or like their nice apartments, and like being independent, living this solo life to moving in with their parents. First of all, the price of everything right now is being inflated, but you know what's not being inflated? How much money people make. Okay, I went to the supermarket the other day. I bought groceries to cook dinner that night and like 2 extra things for my kid to take to school in the lunch during the week. $125. Baby, what happened to $125 being a month's supply of groceries? What happened to those days? I remember when $200 in the supermarket, baby, you could buy ShopRite, okay? Anyways, I definitely do think we're pressured to just like always having this really clear skin, beautiful glass skin with no acne marks. God forbid we get a pimple these days. It's like we're not even human, right? All of these expensive hairstyles done. Like, braids is really out here costing $700. I want some braids so bad, speaking of that. And who paid ear drops, man? Anyways, but yeah, it's like your house gotta be like furnished nicely. People feel like they gotta have designer clothes even though sometimes they can't even afford it. The pressure that society, and it's all freaking social media. Imagine if you were to delete your TikTok and your Instagram right now, you wouldn't give a shit because nobody would know. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't be posting nothing, you wouldn't be sharing nothing. Like, who really would care, right? But because of social media and because people only share their wins in life and their ups and like all the greatness, it creates this thing in the mind where it's just like, damn, how's she 26 driving a G-Wagon? Meanwhile, it's like, oh, but like, I don't have that. And it's like, it creates this idea that, God forbid, if you live within your means or even below it, like a sensible person, that you're doing something wrong in life, because we see these people living so lavishly. And don't get me wrong, yes, people work hard. Yes, people really is out here affording that lifestyle, like no credit cards, you know what I'm saying? Like no scamming, no man funding them, and more like kudos to them. Like I love to see that crap, but at the same time, it's like, it makes you feel almost less than. Like, perfect example is my car, right? You guys know I got a brand new car last year, took it off the lot 4 miles, 2024, right? It's a mom car. I wanted a big car. I wanted a car that was really big in the back seat, and I wanted it to have a nice trunk. You would think them 3 little things is easy to find. They not. And here's the thing, I love fine things in life, okay? I have caviar taste buds. Like, but the pockets don't match. The pockets is very much like Moet-ish, you know what I'm saying? But the taste buds is caviar. The taste buds are giving Louis the 13th, right? And when I got my car, I love my car. Even to this day, every time I see my car, I'm like, damn, I really, really like my car. I love the outside of it. I like the inside of it. It's so practical for me and my needs in life. And I'm like, ooh, I would love to get a Range Rover, like a brand new Range Rover, right? You know who the hell ain't paying $2,500 a month for some goddamn car? Me. Like, even though I make good money, to me it makes no sense to do things like that. Like, I just don't care that much. And it's like, don't get me wrong, while people probably look at it like, oh, she has all these nice things, she does all this and the third, but like, she doesn't drive like a luxury, I don't give a shit. You don't pay the car, no, I do. Like, and let's not even talk about car insurance, but it's like the pressure the society puts on us to think that we have to do this to keep up with the Joneses, to appear better or equal or whatever the case is really crazy. And it's, I mean, even me, like as a content creator, like obviously sometimes I'm like, damn, like they ripping and running, always out living lavish, and I'm just like, I could do it. I just don't want to no more. Like, I just do not care. And the reason I say was talking about the house too is like, I had to really be realistic with myself. Like, it's nothing wrong with scaling back in life. There's nothing wrong with taking a step back and saying, you know what, let me size down so I can save money, rather than spending a lot of money a month and then it takes me longer to save the money. You get where I'm going with this? And the idea that is placed on us in this generation that we cannot do those things, that we have to have the apartments that cost $4,000 a month and the car notes that are over $1,500, like, it's really crazy. And I know some people could easily afford it without being stressed and without checking their account. But for the average consumer in today's society, it's not realistic. And I think that people need to remember that it's okay to not have that lifestyle that you see portrayed to you on social media. Is it nice to see because it may make you want more? Yes, of course. And I hope that you look at it with that type of eyes to be like, you know, like, damn, one day that's going to be me. It's going to happen for me in God's timing and due timing on his plan and not my plan. But at the same time, it's one of those things where it's like, your race is your race. Your lane is your lane. Like, you know, you got to get that tunnel vision and you just got to not care what anybody else says, if that makes sense. The pressure comes from the outside world, and then we just intensify within ourselves to think that, like, yeah, I gotta have that. I gotta have that. Yeah, I gotta get this bag. Like, you know, like, even when everybody was like, Coach became a thing, right? A little pillow tabby, cutest damn bag ever. Everybody was like, yeah, I would never carry Coach. Why do you care? Like, Coach to you may be bottom of the barrel, but Coach to somebody is like top of the line luxury. And I think that's why I really struggle in today's society, is because I just don't care about that type of stuff. Like while I may not want something, it doesn't mean that you cannot desire for it, okay? And even I've been seeing all these posts talking about like, oh, trying to explain the bag hierarchy to your husband. So it was like Coach and Michael Kors was the equivalent to a G-Shock. But to some people, a G-Shock is a Rolex. Like, let's really talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I just feel like it's really unfortunate that we live in this time and that this is the times that we're raising our kids in, is to think that like, if you don't have so-and-so, you are not enough. And it's always been the case, because even when I was a kid, God forbid you went to school with some goddamn K-Swiss on, okay? God forbid you didn't have designers like Jordans on or Nikes. You were labeled as poor, right? You were struggling. It doesn't mean nothing. And I think that's like, I've raised my kids with that mindset. Like, that's because somebody don't got like a pair of sneakers on that you got from Go. It does not mean that they are any less than a human as you. I don't care if somebody had a little putt-putt car that was on 3 wheels, and I would never treat you no different. So the pressure that people put on themselves to keep up with the Joneses is really unfortunate, honestly. It's really sad to see. You know, sometimes like it affects me as well. Not all the time, because again, I'm just like very level-headed about it. Like, I'm just like, I don't give a shit. Like, I could get it. I could go get a different car. I could go get another bag. I could go do, like, I don't want to. You know why? Because I like my money where I can see it in my goddamn bank account, okay? That's why. But the pressure that society is putting on us to just always do these things, and I be seeing these girls so sad and so ashamed on TikTok to say that they're moving back home. Being able to go home is such a blessing. Being able to live at home is such a blessing. Being able to have people to help you in life and to help you with your kids and to help you with the bills. You know why it's a blessing? Because a lot of people don't have it. So the idea that people are ashamed of moving home, living at home, to me is blasphemy. Back in the day, families live together multi-generations, okay? It is so normal to be there for your family and to do these things. Don't think that because you don't live in the high-rise apartment that costs $4,000 a month, you're not driving a Benz, that you're not doing good in life. You're doing just fine, okay? Let me be the one to tell you, you're doing just fine. If you're working hard to hard, you feel like you live in paycheck to paycheck, girl, join the goddamn club. Half the freaking world is right now. Everybody living paycheck to paycheck. Shit, like, sometimes I be in the market, I be like, damn, do I gotta feed these kids? Like, it's really crazy out here. So yeah, I definitely think that, you know, if y'all want to touch more on this topic later, we can, because it is something that I think is very unfortunate to raise kids in this time and to live in this time, because it just sucks. Like, the world is so superficial these days. It's always been superficial, but now that we have social media, it's even worse. So it's getting worse and worse. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we're just gonna end the video here, because as you guys can see, I was getting very riled up, because it was something that, like, I definitely do think I'm more passionate about, just because I feel like I had to talk myself down multiple times. Like, to think that my next step had to be this, and my next car had to be that, and I had to buy this, and I had to go do this, travel here. Like, girl, you don't. And because I had to talk myself down on those mountains a couple times, I definitely think that mentally I kind of understand the concept of it. But yeah, we're just gonna end the video here because it's probably getting a little lengthy. If you guys are new here, don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. But if you're not new here, hey girl, hey, welcome back. Love you. Don't forget to comment as well. I will see you guys this weekend for a weekly vlog, and I'll see you guys next week as well. Love you guys so much. Bye guys.